Welcome to CineBites, a cinematic culinary podcast where we experience the wonders and beauty of cinema with our eyes and explore the unique and glorious cuisine in those films with our taste buds. Today, we're diving into the touching world of The Blind Side. Get ready to savor a tale of triumph and taste as we explore the heartwarming connections between film and food in this extraordinary story. So grab a comforting dish, settle in, and join us for a cinematic and culinary adventure that's as heartwarming as it is delicious. Feast your eyes. All right,
we are back.
Hut, 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 hut.
Say it, hut, hut. Omaha, 300.
Omaha. Taylor Swift.
Hey. Taylor Swift.
So,
I don't know any football terms. You're wearing a jersey.
And I am, it was intentionally.
That is so
I'm
intentional.
Wearing my Colts jersey because I love the Colts.
But my shirt's better, though.
Your shirt is better. And
CineBites.
It is on sale. So, my jersey's on sale too, but our jerseys are on sale, the dinner and the movie. So if you want one, just let us know. Shoot us a DM, or you can order them online. You can rep our merch. And support the pod in any way that you can.
Rep the CineBites Nation.
Yes, all of our
gotta see our munchies out there.
So today we are talking about a movie called The Blind Side.
Yep.
You may have seen a lot of this in the news more recently because there is some spicy scandals going on today. And nothing really, really crazy, but I think a lot of the movie was fabricated, if you would say, or at least they are claiming that it is, from some of the big characters in this, which is, the main character. So we'll dive into that a little bit later.
Spicy.
Yeah.
It might get spicy.
It might get pretty spicy. And Adam and I are just kind of going to talk about what we've heard here or there. So it's not, we don't know the very depths of what's going on. So this is just kind of, spectators just kind of seeing from afar and, talking about it a little bit. So if you want, more information about it, definitely do your due diligence and do that research. But we're just going to kind of, focus on the movie and that impact to, really cinema and retelling a story that's a great story and just kind of picking that apart. But then also getting into the side where all of that may have been very much made up in a way.
Yeah.
So gonna dive into that. Spoiler alert: if you haven't seen it, watch The Blind Side. Pretty solid. If you like sports movies, pretty solid sports movie. And we can even give more information about that. But before we get into the movie, as always, we like to introduce the food.
Yep.
And I think I'm gonna talk about the. Ooh, it's like a gong almost.
Dinner bell.
Come get it.
All right.
So,
should I reveal?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the dish. Well, before we talk about the dish, did you get a picture of that?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, before we talk about the dish, we'll explain where it came from. And really the only food that we've seen in this movie is the Thanksgiving meal dinner. So we have a Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah. Let me get a picture.
Yeah, so pretty much, and this episode's actually going to come out around Thanksgiving, so this is, even more
maybe
fitting.
The week before Thanksgiving?
Yeah,
I don't know.
so even more fitting. So happy Thanksgiving to everyone who's watching this. Thank you for tuning in.
Hopefully you're thankful.
Yeah, hopefully you're thankful for CineBites
for
this podcast. But so it was fitting for the movie, and it was really the only time that was the food was introduced in the movie, and it was a kind of a pivotal moment in the movie where the I guess you could say protagonist, or the main key character, Michael, who is deciding whether or not he should live with do you pronounce it Tui? The Tui family, and so it was, he's already kind of battling these, I guess you could say, inner demons, because there's just a lot going on, and you feel for the character, but this family's really trying to introduce him into their homes, and one of those big moments is bringing him into their family as if he is their family, and have a Thanksgiving meal. So that's what we have.
He spends the night, I think, and then he is leaving, and as he's leaving, she the mom,
Yeah.
Leanne.
Leanne. Yeah.
She was like, "Hey, get back over here, blah, 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 blah. Why don't you stay for Thanksgiving?"
Yeah.
And then not long after that is the Thanksgiving scene. So
Yeah.
here we have a Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah. So we have ham.
Ham.
Does your family do the traditional turkey, or do they
We do turkey, ham,
Oh,
chicken,
so you do both? Yeah.
and multiple types of turkey. Actually, in our
Ooh.
Thanksgiving, I don't know who likes a regular turkey. I don't.
Do you do it deep fried?
So no.
Oh, okay.
They do like a regular, usually a smoked turkey, and it's
Ooh.
not bad, but there's this turkey that we have at our Thanksgiving that I do really like, that comes from this Amish store, I think.
Okay.
And it's a marinated turkey.
Ooh.
So they marinate like turkey breast, and then they give it to you raw, so you cook it however you want. So we usually grill it.
Oh, yeah.
Or somebody in our family usually grills it. So it's this marinated Amish turkey that's grilled. Now that's good.
Oh, man, that
The
sounds
regular,
good.
like either baked or fried or smoked big turkey always comes out dry to me, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
these ones in particular, since it's just the breast and it's been marinated, man, is it so good.
Ooh, that sounds
But
really
we
good.
always have ham too.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes chicken. I mean,
Yeah, we almost always, not with my family traditionally, but with my wife and daughter, we always have to have ham, because my wife is more pro ham. She wants,
pro ham.
pro ham. But I like both. I can eat turkey. We grew up, I guess, my grandpa, before he passed, he knew how to cook the turkey right. And so every Thanksgiving I was looking forward to that, because you had that juicy, turkey and all the fixings.
Yeah,
and we have.
I don't know if maybe it's just never been cooked right, but the marinated turkey has always been the best.
Oh,
When
that
it's
sounds
grilled,
really good. Oh, I'm gonna have to try that out.
so good.
So, and then sides, you can really go with a lot of sides.
So many different sides.
Actually, and I'm curious with the munchies and everyone participating. Let us know what your favorite Thanksgiving side is.
Oyster dressing.
Oyster dressing.
Every year
Ugh.
at my family's Thanksgiving, there's oyster dressing. So there's like normal dressing or stuffing.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I think I know. It's not. Is oyster the brand?
No.
Oh.
Oysters, as in the seafood.
Like actual oysters.
Yes. So like, stuffing, usually, like they say, you stuff it in a turkey. Now it's kind of evolved to where you just have stuffing on the side or dressing. So oyster dressing is what it is. And it has oysters in it. And one person makes it every year in our big Thanksgiving, and one person eats it every year. And nobody else touches it. Because I think one person makes it for one person who likes it.
Oh,
and I think that they might be in the same family. I'm like, just do this on your own time.
Just
because no one else is
going to eat it. I would, as we've discussed before, I would eat anything once, so I would try oyster dressing. I don't know if I would love it, but I would try it. But anyway,
mac and cheese.
So yeah, mac and cheese is what we decided for the side, and mashed potatoes along with some baguettes.
But comment your favorite Thanksgiving side.
Yeah, let us know, and maybe,
or just Thanksgiving dish in general, not even side.
And maybe we could even do, because I actually never talked to you about this until just now. I was thinking for some different either movies or whatever we talk about on the show. You know how they have like the rankings where it's like superior, A, B, C.
Oh, a tier list?
Yeah, a tier list. We could do that.
Wait, does S tier stand for superior?
Am I wrong? I could be wrong.
I don't know. I've only ever heard S tier and known that as that's better than A tier.
Yeah, I imagine that's what it was, but I don't know.
That's news
we could
to me.
do a quick Google.
I never said superior. I was always just say that's S tier.
Oh. Well, what did you think it stood for?
I don't know. I didn't think it stood
the best.
Super awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Look it up. I'm curious. I always thought it was superior, but I could be wrong. But maybe when we do this, we could do our own tier list of, what is the best.
S tier may stand for special, super, or the Japanese word for exemplary.
Oh, so it's not even
starts with an
superior.
S.
Oh, okay. Then I guess I just assumed, because it's kind of like, the GOAT. People put this is the greatest of all time. S, I was like, oh, so that means
superb, super, superior, special.
Okay, so it could be however.
Nobody knows. It could mean anything.
Interesting.
It just means the top rank.
Oh, okay. Anyways, we can do that. We can do that for Thanksgiving sides, and then we can post it. And then if you guys agree or disagree, just let us know.
S-tier Thanksgiving side.
Yeah.
Is
I have one in mind, but I don't think it's a popular.
Ooh, is it going to be your spicy take?
No, because it has nothing to do with the movie.
Well,
no, but I mean, my S tier, and I always ask for as soon as someone says Thanksgiving side, this comes to mind every single time, is green bean casserole.
I will not call it S tier, but I do love a green bean casserole.
Man, that might be an A. We could put it up in the A bracket, but we
don't know if it's a Thanksgiving side, but like a hash brown casserole or like a cheesy potato type of deal.
Our food's getting cold.
Yeah, we better eat.
But yeah, we can definitely
we don't have
do
forks
that.
for the ham. I guess I'm just hamming it.
That's kind of what I was gonna do.
Ham.
Just put it.
Honey ham. Not bad.
Let me try.
Did you slice this or was it pre-sliced?
I sliced it with my hands.
That is a very nicely even slice.
Thank you. No, I didn't slice it.
Oh.
It was already pre-sliced.
Because I was about to say they look all very even. I don't see any marks.
Could you imagine? I had the cutting capabilities of a machine. Dang,
Just a little bread.
We forgot napkins again.
They're over there. On the other side of that thing.
That's too far.
It's too far.
Actually, I might get
Oh, and then to drink. And to drink, we have cranberry juice.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me.
I know it's not really what you drink at Thanksgiving, I feel like. Does anyone actually drink cranberry juice, or is it just cranberry sauce?
It's the cranberry sauce.
But we wanted to include cranberry somehow.
It's always funny when people prepare cranberry sauce, is they'll just dump out the can. Like, usually I would heat it up, because otherwise it just looks like dog food.
I don't usually go for the cranberry sauce.
It's a better combination with turkey. At least that's what I put it on. So if you don't eat turkey that much, or if your turkey's already marinated, you know.
The marinated turkey, though. Mashed potatoes are good. I like these taters.
I didn't have the taters. Let me try.
Is the mac and cheese any good?
It's mac and cheesy.
Hey.
It's like Little Caesars, hot and ready. This mac and cheese.
Lukewarm and ready.
Can't go wrong with Thanksgiving dinner. I'm gonna get some
it's
napkins.
Not bad. Yeah, I feel like we're just eating and not talking much about the food, but it's very standard. Not bad, but not like.
Yeah,
that's one thing about Thanksgiving food, is it obviously is very American, and maybe it's because I'm just so used to it.
Yeah,
but I'm never like overly impressed by Thanksgiving food.
Oh man, if you do
like
it right,
I like it. I will like it, and I enjoy a Thanksgiving dinner. But I never have a Thanksgiving meal and go, "Wow, this is one of the best meals I've had in my life." Because I feel like it's just very American. You know, usually mostly bland food.
Yeah.
When I feel like more recently in my life, I like to go for more exotic foods.
Yeah.
More foreign foods, Mexican, Asian foods, Thai food.
Yeah.
I guess that's an Asian food.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess we
Indian food.
I guess we grew up with different Thanksgivings. Because I always look forward to Thanksgiving.
No, I like it.
Because Thanksgiving introduces 3 of my favorite things for a holiday. I might even say Thanksgiving might be one of my favorite holidays because it introduces football, which I love.
Take it or leave it.
I love football. So that's one. You have football on Thanksgiving Day. You have food that you can eat literally all day and then do leftovers, do like a Thanksgiving sandwich.
Yep, I get behind that.
And then naps. Everyone, once you eat and you're stuffed and you watch a little bit of football, everyone in the house is taking a nap, for us anyways. So yeah, so
True.
it's definitely up there as one of my favorite, at least the way we celebrate it is one of my favorite ways. So let's rate it.
We're rating Thanksgiving as a holiday?
No, just a well, we could.
Can you pass me my you'll have to pass me my board because they're over on yours right there.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Ham. I'm hand-hamming it. All right.
But
we're not ranking
We're ranking the
Thanksgiving.
food.
We're not ranking Thanksgiving food as a whole. We're ranking this in particular, right?
This in particular, yeah, because I mean, this whole plate wouldn't be my choice of what I would normally get on the Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah. I mean, I would get this on my plate, but there'd be other things.
Oh yeah.
Green bean casserole, as you were saying.
Stuffing.
Some sort of cheesy potato.
Just like standard stuffing, like this, even the stovetop stuffing. Oh my goodness.
I'm not big
Snack
on
on
the
that.
stuffing.
Oh man, I'll snack on that all day.
I think that might be scarred by the oyster stuffing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. that would be rough.
But
Okay.
some good rolls on a Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh yeah.
You always gotta have a roll, and then it gets a little bit of gravy. That's what we don't have is gravy.
Oh, gravy.
It's a little bit of
upgrade
gravy and taters and cheese on the roll.
Yeah,
You know
that
what I
would
mean?
upgrade it for sure. All right, I can go first if you want me to.
Go for it.
I really like this. Why am I writing so small? I really like these meals. I could eat it a lot. So anything that I would say that I would like in reoccurring dishes of or more commonly is anywhere above a 7. So I did a 7.1 for this one in particular. No way. How are we doing that?
What?
What's the average on that?
I thought you were gonna go a lot higher than me.
No. Wow. Wait. So I don't know. I mean, it's good. It's great. It's good stuff.
Because to me, this is 7.1 is good, not great.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean,
a 7 is a 70% average. That's an average.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, if I were to construct this differently for a Thanksgiving meal, it would probably have a higher rating. So this
True.
is, I would say, if it were my ideal Thanksgiving dish, it would be in like the 9s probably.
Yeah. See, I don't know if in any situation a Thanksgiving meal could go over an 8 for me.
Really?
This one in particular is just average, 7.1. But in general, even if it's like at my family's Thanksgiving, I get my favorite things and eat a lot of it. Still probably max an 8. That's still good. But
Yeah, that's still good. That's a good meal. So so that averages to 7.1. I was surprised that we got that. We've done that a couple times in the last few episodes.
We're in sync.
Yeah. So let's dive right into The Blind Side. Would you like to give a little rundown, or I could even give a little rundown of what's going on?
Yeah, I got ham in my mouth, but essentially there's this kid. I think the movie starts, well, maybe it starts out when he's younger, I think. But anyway, he gets to be a teenager. His dad died in an accident when he was little, and his mom, this is based on a true story, at least mostly. And his mom is I think they live, in a bad situation, and she's on drugs and different things. Then gets separated he gets separated with his mom.
Yeah.
And then lives on his own for a while.
Yeah.
When he's just a teenager, like 16 or 17 or something.
Yeah. And his is it Uncle Tony, or is he related to him, Tony? Big Tony?
Maybe. Or it might just be a friend. I can't remember.
Because I know he played if it didn't display it in this movie, he played a pivotal role in Michael's real life too. Mm-hmm. So, but I couldn't remember if there was any relation there or not.
But anyway, eventually he crosses paths. This is Michael Orr cross paths with Leanne Toohey, and actually in the movie at least crosses paths with SJ, the little kid, first. In the playground.
I'll talk. I'm going to pin that and talk about that later.
Okay. So anyway, he meets the little kid first, and then the kid introduces him to his. They see him on the road at one night, and he's like, "Oh, I know that guy. I saw him at the playground the other day." And then they take him in just first as like a temporary, like, this guy clearly needs help. He's living on his own.
Yeah.
He's still a kid, 16 or 17. Doesn't have a home, doesn't have anything, isn't going to school. And so they take him under their wing, and then and like we were saying earlier, he tries to leave. Then they invite him back to Thanksgiving dinner. Mm-hmm. And then eventually it just gets to the point where they take him under their wing in more of a permanent way, and get him signed up for school, and then quickly becomes part of the football team.
Yeah.
And then not long after he starts to learn football pretty easily and pretty quickly. And then not long after that, college recruiters come and look at him, and they want to get him to play college football.
Yeah.
And then I just lost my train of thought of what happens. So, yeah, essentially around that time when the college recruiters are coming is about the time when they were toying with the idea of adoption of him, because he was about to turn 18, and there are some weird things about he couldn't go to a college unless he was adopted or something. And so he got officially adopted, and there were some hiccups in the road with that, and we'll talk about that a little more because that's directly tied in with the whole controversy around this movie.
Yeah.
But then eventually he goes on, he plays football and has a very successful football career. And then when this movie came out was, I think, from what I saw, remembering and researching this, is the same year that he was like the first draft pick. Am I right? 2009 was when this movie came out.
Yeah,
and then I'm pretty sure he was
picked in the first round, but he was picked 23.
Okay,
so he was still. I mean, that's still huge.
In the first round draft pick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same year that this movie came out for the NFL. So he goes on and goes into the NFL after that.
Yeah.
So had a pretty decent career. And this movie came out 14 years ago now, and I didn't realize this until just now, but the timing of it is kind of insane. Because if you think about it, for them, in order for them to actually first hear about the story and think of if it's even worth, creating a film, movie.
He was essentially living the movie as it was being filmed.
Yeah, and actually, I figured this out. So the movie is actually based off of a book.
Oh.
Based off of his life. And so this book, I'd have to look it up, but from what I remember from doing some research, the movie came out, adapted from The Blind Side, Evolution of a Game. This came out in 2006, yeah.
So it
came out in 2006, 3 years before the movie. I don't really read books, but I'm assuming the book was very popular and kind of blew up, and so somebody wanted to adapt it into a movie because it makes a very good, feel-good football sports movie.
Yeah, but I guess I'm just kind of confused on the timeline. So he was okay. So he graduate high school when the book was released, and then he played in college. Is that right? For however many years, and then he got drafted. That's kind of okay.
Yeah. So in the movie, there's no mention of him in the FNL. And NFL. In the movie, it basically ends when he's about to start his
and
college
you see
career.
The video of him getting drafted and
everything. But yeah, so one thing, now I don't know the extent to this, but I thought this was interesting. The author of the original book, The Blind Side, so I'm pretty sure that Michael Orr eventually wrote his own like memoir thing, an autobiography type deal. But the original thing written by, I just had it up, Michael Lewis. Michael Lewis, this was written in 2000 or was published in 2006, is a friend of the Toohey family.
Oh.
And so I'm sure that him being, this isn't a story that anybody had heard about.
Yeah.
Because it was it was in the middle of this when I'm pretty sure that this author started writing this book.
Yeah.
Because he's, I don't know how close of a friend, but he's acquaintances with the Toohey family and is aware of their story.
Yeah.
And is looking at it from a little bit of an outside and maybe an inside perspective, and then writing this book about it. So I think that's kind of interesting that it's a biography, but this guy kind of has an in on the whole thing because he's friends with this family. And so that kind of, when I heard that, I thought, okay, that sounds a little shady to me.
It really does.
So because if I would have heard that maybe this book was written by, Leanne Toohey or something, or written by Michael Orr, or just written by some sort of outside source, it couldn't have been written by an outside source because no one knew of this story.
Right.
It's not like something that happened 30 years ago that they are starting to get documentation on and starting to take interviews of, people, because that's usually how you learn stories like this. Oh, something that happened 20 years ago. This sounds interesting. Someone goes and interviews them,
right?
Whoever they can to get the inside information. This it doesn't seem like much of that was involved. It was just this guy who's a friend of this family, or at least decently acquainted and knew them, because this family is pretty rich and well off to start with.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know the author of this, and I'm not throwing shade at the author necessarily, because he may have been he might have been blindsided by the whole situation too himself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but it does seem a little bit shady that the book was written, the movie was based off of this book that was written by a friend of the Tuohys, which seems to lead to the Tuohys being put into more of a limelight.
Yeah.
In this situation.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
I'm not going to blame the author necessarily, because I don't know for certain, and like he was saying at the beginning, we're not insiders on any of this information.
Yeah.
You can Google all this yourself, but these are just what we observe and we find. So I just thought that was super interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. And I think that's I don't know if that's really what started them diving more into it. I think it was when Michael Orr started kind of expressing his thoughts on the whole thing, because there's a lot of things that either are in the book or in the movie that have definitely been extremely fabricated.
Mm-hmm.
One example, and this I just heard like through just watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. So this could just be maybe even false information. I don't know, but it seemed like it was direct quote from Michael. Is that so? There was an understanding that the family, instead of actually adopting him, that there was kind of a conservatorship with him, so that whenever the movie made any kind of royalties or anything, he had no cut on that. Mm-hmm. Even though he was told that he was going to, get a big portion of that. Mm-hmm. Like they were going to split it with the family 5 ways, but instead they split it 4, so he got nothing. And the other part was that, I think that's the biggest part, is that he didn't get a slice of the pie, if you will, of this great amount of money. But the other one was that he was never adopted too, which I think was kind of a crazy thing.
And so I think it's interesting because I don't want to go one side or the other on this, because doing some research on this, I mean, you kind of have to take people at their word. I mean, you can look at things interesting. You can look at things and you can have your own opinions on it. But based on the Tuohy's word, they had no ill intent with doing a conservatorship rather than adopting, because he was about to turn 18 or had just turned 18.
Yeah.
And according to Michael Orr, he was unaware that he wasn't being adopted. He was unaware that it was a conservatorship.
Yeah.
They gave him a paper and to sign it. But even in his memoir, he wrote that it was a conservatorship, that he wrote this memoir years ago. And then this year, in 2023, in February, he claims he discovered that it was not adoption, it was a conservatorship.
Okay,
even though he wrote about it in his memoir.
So he said in his memoir that he knew what he was signing, and here recently he's claiming that he had no idea.
And so it could be, it's also one of those things, it's a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo, and I don't understand half of it. Mm-hmm. But it could just been, have been malpractice by the lawyers making stupid decisions. It could have been ill intent by the Tuohy family. Yeah. Or it could have been that Michael Orr didn't get what he had hoped out of it, and now he's going back and attacking. Right. The Tuohy family, after all this came out, they're like, we are hurt and disturbed that he would even make these allegations. And that could be a way for them to just kind of play victim, or they could actually have had ill intent. It's really hard to know. So I think it's very interesting, because there's some things on some sides of the whole thing about he didn't know, but then he actually kind of did know.
Right.
And then the whole thing about, okay, their friend wrote this book, so they're putting themselves in more of a they look really good situation.
Yeah.
And I actually just looked it up that he was actually a friend of the dad, Tui's dad, childhood friend since they were young. So anyway,
but I guess and I mean I guess I know an answer of it or multiple answers of it, but if they were already well off, then why does it matter?
See, that's why I also thought that's a good, like they're already a rich family. At least, I mean, I don't know how much money they had, but the way it was shown in the movie, and from what I've heard and seen, they multi-million-dollar family. So why would they want to take advantage of him? Now, not saying they wouldn't have, but it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't quite click in my head. I'm leaning back and forth of like Michael Orr's the victim in this.
Yeah.
To the Tui family is being, you know, kicked under the rug for no reason.
Yeah.
Because like they may have made a few $1 million off of this movie or this book or whatever, but ultimately would it have made a difference?
Right.
And it's kind of interesting that until going back and researching and going back through the movie, I completely forgot that they even addressed this controversy in the movie itself.
Right,
because he meets with a lawyer or whoever it is, and the lady was like, these people are taking advantage of you.
Yeah.
They're taking advantage of you because they saw this big buff black dude who had a potential to be in the NFL, and they wanted to get him and make a bunch of money off of him.
Yeah.
And
I mean, on paper, it does look
on paper it looks bad, but then of course in the movie they explain it off like, no, we just loved him and wanted to take him under our wing.
Yeah.
And we had, you know, we just want him to be part of our family. And that's kind of the whole theme of the movie is it didn't matter who he was, it didn't matter what he did, they just accepted him for who he was.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the whole message of the movie. And so I guess take it as you will. The movie was based off of the book that was written by a childhood friend of them.
Yeah.
So it could have been that they put that in just to cover their tracks and say, we're going to put this in and say that we're not taking advantage of him.
Right.
Just to cover up the fact that we are taking advantage of him.
Right. After hearing the controversy or, you know, kind of the allegations that Michael has brought up, does this taint your view or your opinion about the movie, or do you kind of separate that?
I mean, I separate it because I already take every movie that says based on a true story with a large grain of salt.
Oh, yeah.
And so even like example, spoiler alerts for Blindside, but I'm going to spoil if you've not seen Fargo. Have you seen Fargo?
Yeah, okay. I love Fargo.
Yeah, so I watched Fargo for the first time, I don't know, a few months ago. And it was on my watch list. And at the very beginning of the movie, it says, this is based on a true story. Now
Fargo was?
Yes, and it said you're hooked. And I watched this whole movie. I'm like, this is insane that this is based on a true movie. I go back into it later that the Coen brothers completely lied. They just put that in there to hook you.
It
was not based off of anything at all. I think that they said the only thing that was maybe loosely based off of anything, spoiler alert, is at the very end when the killers...
Go watch Fargo. It's great.
Yeah, it's great. When one of the killers throws the body into a wood chipper.
Right. Oh, that's the iconic scene.
Yeah, that's based off of someone who actually did that in real life.
And I have heard that,
but nothing else about it has anything to do with anything. Like, the two cases had nothing to do with... And so, anyway, any sort of movie that is, like, based on a true story, I'm like, is this a Fargo situation where they're just completely, like, 100% lying? Or...
And I think I've seen in more recent years where they say... based on true events to kind of get away with, okay, it's not the entire story, but like you hear in a small town, someone got rid of a body with a wood chipper, and then that's the true part of it, and it's only like 10%.
Yeah, but from what I know from Fargo, at least, they literally just put that in there just to hook you in, and you have that in the back of your mind the whole time thinking, wow, this is absurd that all of this happened in real. And then I'm like halfway through this movie, I'm like, I want to research all that. I'm gonna
Right.
go. I'm gonna go on a deep dive. This is gonna be so cool. And I
Yeah.
go on there, and they're just like, no, they were lying. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
they lied about
I got
it.
nothing to look into now because I was excited to look into where are these people now? What happened?
Yeah.
To blah, blah, blah. Nothing.
Nothing.
It's all fake.
Oh my goodness.
And which makes sense too because there's a Fargo TV show.
Right. Yeah.
And that Fargo TV show has whole new characters and whole new everything because it's less about being based on a true story and just about the environment and where they live.
Yeah.
And different things like that. So I'm like, how do they make a TV show based in the future based on Fargo when it was true events? Like, does this story continue 30 years later? No, it doesn't. It's all fake. It's all a lie.
Oh my goodness.
But no, I don't really think that that learning all this taints my view of this movie. Actually, I can't verify this perfectly in my own mind, but from what I know, this came out in 2009. I think this was one of the first, if not the first, PG-13 movie I had seen.
Oh,
or
really?
PG-13 movie I'd seen in a theater, more specifically.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it kind of had, it's PG-13, I think, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right.
And so, yeah, it is PG-13. And so we actually went and saw this movie as a family when I was 9 years old. I was 9 when this came out. And so even though it's PG-13, it is very much a family movie.
Yeah.
Feel-good type of deal. So this movie kind of has a interesting part in my life in that it was one of the first movies I had remembered seeing that was PG-13 in the movie, went with my family to go see.
Yeah.
And so... And in that, after seeing that movie at 9 years old, not seeing any sort of drama like this, it was like not a life-changing experience, but I was like, wow, that movie was amazing.
Yeah.
Like all the emotions I was feeling, because up to that point, you're only watching PG, like kids movies and comedies.
Right. Yeah.
And so diving into this world was kind of interesting for me, at least in my personal experience.
Yeah. Nice.
So I don't think it really changes my view because also it maybe would change my view if there was concrete evidence of one side or the other. But right now, diving in and doing research, it seems like mostly the internet is leaning onto the side of Michael Orr.
Yeah.
Of like supporting him, that he was, he was screwed over by this family, screwed over by the system, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel like there's also argument to be said for the Toohey family in some situations. Once again, I'm not saying one or the other because I really don't know, but the evidence to me is not concrete because I know they're saying that because of the conservatorship that he didn't make any money off of this, but I'm not seeing any like actual records of money he's made or not made.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've not seen the proof of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's hard. But then there's also the argument of, okay, they might have done this, which was a stupid decision, this conservatorship, but the fact that Michael Orr is just going to completely shun his adopted family who saved him and built his career and built his life.
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be some argument said for that.
Well, that
the
was
fact that they would do that, even if they made some stupid things and maybe if they did take advantage, I'm like, okay, but you would have probably still been on the streets, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a hard thing to understand. No, he would have been able to do this and this and this, but being on the streets at 16, 17 years old, no place to live, no education.
Yeah.
I don't know if he could have gone anywhere without getting help from someone on the outside.
Yeah. No, I agree. And supposedly he was even claiming that because in the movie you make it makes you think that he is completely dumb when it comes to football, but supposedly he has, and what he has claimed is that he has been playing ever since he was a little kid. So that's another thing. It's kind of like, okay, so even if he had education on the game, at least I think, like you said, having the help with the family and opening those doors for him, and putting him in a position where college scouts can zero in on him.
Yeah.
I think that is kind of what helped push him in that right direction. Obviously, the other stuff that's involved, where it's like this movie is him. Like this movie is all about him. Without him, this movie wouldn't even exist. The story wouldn't exist. So if he was robbed of that, then that's not right either. You know. So it's just it's kind of weird situation. And like we said, we're on the outside looking in. So we're just kind of doing it as just viewers. But so
and I'm interested to see where it goes, because this is a current legal battle.
Right.
I think it's kind of died down in social media and just
and especially by the time this episode comes out.
And in news in general, it's kind of died down.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, it's still like a ongoing legal case, because legal cases take a long time, especially something like this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I had heard about it, and from what I had seen, people are saying, "Oh, Michael Oher has been screwed over," and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And I really didn't know about it. I didn't read into it. So it kind of goes to show not to just believe the headlines of what you're seeing, because I was reading all those headlines and that's what they were saying. But now I'm looking into it, and there can be arguments either way.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not looking good for the Toohey family, but then it also is looking like kind of a jerk move on Michael Oher's part in some ways.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You could go either way. And so I thought it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And I realized we've not even really talked about the movie much.
No, I was just thinking about that too. And we can do that as a quick recap of while we're grading it. So we can just go straight into the rankings.
Yeah. And I guess I talked about this a little bit. This being one of the first PG-13 movies that's kind of like a drama. It, at least in a first watching when I was in the theater, it was pretty impactful. I would have, at 9 years old, walking out of the theater in that situation, I wouldn't be surprised if I would have given this movie a 9 or a 10.
Yeah.
As a kid, not watching something like that, because it is your typical. And actually, I wouldn't even say typical. I think it's maybe a little bit better than average, feel-good sports movie.
Yeah, yeah.
You're typical in terms of like, the way it goes and how it's made and kind of the idea behind it. But I think it's a little bit. I mean, Sandra Bullock won an Oscar for this movie.
Yeah, crazy.
It was nominated for. Was it Best Picture? The movie was nominated for something, and then she was also nominated for Best Lead Actress, and she won, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, 10 awards, 1 Oscar award, nominee. There's a nominee here for something that I don't necessarily agree with it. That might even be my spicy take.
Oh yeah, we didn't do spicy takes.
Yeah, that's okay. There's a lot to unpack with this, especially with more recent events happening. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and just kind of give your rundown, and then, or I
you
guess
go. I didn't write my rating yet.
Okay, so I have my rating, and I really had to, because it's kind of you're along the lines of your experiences is where you watch this for the first time in theaters, it's impactful. But I think the more movies we watch, the more critical we can become of other movies.
Mm-hmm.
And so after watching this, I think growing up, I'm just like, oh yeah, this is a great football movie, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then growing up and rewatching it or just kind of seeing it, I always ask questions, and it's probably really annoying, but I'm just like, okay, why is it like this? Or, why is it not playing out like that? Why is the pacing off?
Mm-hmm.
And so with this, I mean, it's still good. Like, obviously, I think it's become, it's a inspiring story. It's something that, keep you intrigued and your attention with it.
It definitely made an impact. This movie made a lot of money.
Yeah. But I think there's one element about it that I'm just like, I couldn't get past, and it might be my spicy take, is that I do not think that the guy who played Michael was a good actor at all. I thought, and he got nominated for like Best Actor and stuff, and
wow,
I just didn't.
That seems crazy.
I just didn't think he was good.
So, like, he is the main focus of the movie, but obviously, I feel like Sandra Bullock is the main character of this movie.
Yeah.
Of the story, he's the main character.
Yeah.
But of the movie, Sandra Bullock is. So and honestly, I think her performance was good. I think it was fine. I don't know if it was Oscar worthy. But it was. I mean, she's usually good in most things she's in. But I think you're right. He doesn't have much acting experience. You go on his thing, and this is his number one thing. He's been in a couple other football movies, but he's mostly just been in a bunch of B movies, straight to DVD, just not bad
good
looking things.
Right.
And so he kind of played Michael Orr like he was just dumb.
I'm gonna change mine while as we're talking.
To me, whenever I remember him, he kind of portrayed him as he's just kind of dumb and kind of just like straight line, like doesn't have many emotions.
Yeah.
Now there are plays with some emotions. One thing that you do get from him as a character is that even though he's this big dude, he's super kind to his family, and that's kind of one big theme of the movie is the fact that he's just so kind and loving to his family. That whole scene with when he crashed the car, and then and the little boy the little boy was injured, but he was able to protect him a little bit,
right?
And that's kind of an emotional moment. But other than like kind of the little bit of a cuddly feeling you get from the guy, he doesn't display much emotion. He's just kind of bleh. Yeah. Doesn't even say much. Yeah. I feel like he's just very quiet in the movie as well. Yeah. Now, maybe Michael Orr's like that in real life, but I don't know. Yeah. It's hard to tell. So.
And even a spicy take of Sandra Bullock winning Best Actress for this. Like, I don't think I'll have to see the other movies, but I mean, there must not have been super great movie because I didn't even think she did a fantastic job either.
I mean, I don't think it definitely wasn't bad, but
it was different seeing her with a southern accent and everything and kind of trying that on. But
maybe that's what
because she could have a southern accent.
That she could have a southern accent. I
don't know. Anyways, I mean, all that being said, I still love football. Still love a football movie. I still like motivating movies or inspiring
football
movies.
Movie with not much football in it, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. Really, only a little bit here and there, but I still appreciate it. But I'm gonna give it a 6.6.
I gave it a 6.5.
Whoa. I actually so I started at 7, went back to 6.5.
I started at 7.2
and then I went
down to 6.5.
Yeah. So we're really on par. So whatever that average is, 5.5. I don't know.
No,
6.55.
Oh yeah, 6. Yeah, it would be 6.55.
And I drew a little football too. Yeah. So if you're watching,
hey, we're right there with it.
We are
definitely not a bad movie.
No.
But yeah, like you're saying, going back and just kind of ranking it objectively against all other movies.
Yeah,
it's ranking pretty low. And actually, that's like very close. Rotten Tomatoes says 66%.
Okay,
it's higher. It's 7.6 for IMDb. So a little bit higher for that, but 66% Rotten Tomatoes. So we're right on par with the critics there. Audience score is a little bit higher, but that makes sense. It's a pretty, I feel like it's a very approachable movie. Like if you're not a movie person, you could watch this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like last 2 episodes was Rear Window, and it's like that movie. If you're not into movies, or It's maybe not your thing, and it's not very approachable. There's a lot of movies that are like that.
Yeah.
But this movie, if you're not a movie person, it's very approachable. And I think that's probably why it was one of the first movies I saw in theater, because my parents in particular aren't necessarily super movie people as much as I am. So the fact that we all went as a family to go see this movie is kind of unheard of. Like we didn't go to the movies all together as a family often.
Yeah.
But it's a very approachable movie, but we seem to line up with the critics a little bit more on this side of things.
Yeah, I think so. And I was looking up the other leading roles for an actress with Sandra Bullock.
I was curious about that.
Yeah, so Helen Mirren with The Last Station, never saw that.
Never seen that.
Carey Mulligan with An Education, never saw that.
Nope.
I always mispronounce her. Gabori Sidibe, who played Precious, which I thought that won, but I guess not.
I thought it won some awards. I have
Yeah.
not seen that movie either.
But I heard that was really good.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the biggest reason why or that's kind of why
that came out the same year as this?
at least that's what it's saying on the
That seems
Oscars
like-
website.
Hmm.
And then Meryl Streep with Julie and Julia, but Meryl Streep's got plenty of Oscars.
Yeah.
She has like the most Oscars for any actress.
Yeah, and I've not seen that movie either.
Julie and Julia.
I don't think it's that notable for.
I think Amy
So-
Adams is in that too.
So maybe, honestly, I've not seen any of
It was
those other
almost like a
movies.
win by default.
It was almost a win by default.
Which,
I think
yeah.
maybe the one actress who played Precious, maybe. I'm pretty sure she won some awards though.
yeah.
But yeah, that does seem like, I guess there wasn't very many lead actresses in movies in 2009 because that doesn't seem like there
A
are very
huge
many
list,
great
yeah.
options, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to, discredit Sandra Bullock for her role, but I that's more so justifying why I gave it the rating I did.
And I think also, even though, awards like that try to be objective
Mhm.
on their giving of awards, I think that obviously a movie that has made a lot of money and that was very popular is more likely to win awards. Especially back then, I feel like.
You think so, even with Academy Awards?
I think so. I mean, I wouldn't say it's, I say that they're trying their best to be objective, but money does play a role in these type of things. So
Yeah.
this movie made $300 million in the box office, which
Yeah.
I think was huge. I don't know what the budget is for this movie. Let's see. 29 million. So 30 million is
Oh yeah.
literally
10 times.
10 times as much money.
Mhm.
And that's a relatively low budget movie. Probably half of that was spent on Sandra Bullock, honestly.
Right.
And so, anyway, I think that even though the Oscars, they try to be objective in their ratings,
Yeah.
the fact that this movie was a very approachable movie that I think a lot of Americans have seen.
Yeah.
It was impactful in that way, in the fact that it was very popular.
Yeah.
Because I remember 2009, the fact that my family went all together and watched it, and that theater was packed. We were literally sitting in the front row or
Right.
second row,
Yeah.
having to look up like this.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't happen often for movies. And I
True.
think this movie was big, and she was a big name, and so that definitely played a part in her getting that. So
No, I agree.
anyway, I think we know what time it is.
We know what time it is.
And you already wrote it down?
I did write it down. Yeah, I was looking at the time. I was like, oh, we got to get into our Cine
yeah, we
Snacks.
talked a little bit longer than I think the usual, but
Yeah, but it's all good.
lots
It was
of
good
controversy.
conversation.
Lots of controversy.
Yeah, and we're still gonna kind of monitor that and see how, because I'm curious.
I am curious. It might be a while, but it's a court case going on right now. Maybe we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. Who wins, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway,
All right. Well, I have
Cine Snacks.
Yeah, Cine Snacks. I already have the movie written down, so really we're just gonna start the clock
Let me
and get right into
Let
it.
me get a timer.
So you have the rules of the Cine Snacks, as always, and our faithful munchies know, is that you have 2 minutes to guess. You can ask yes or no questions, and you have three clues.
hints.
Or hints, yeah.
Whatever. So do you have your hint/clues ready?
For the most part, let me...
Because that's one thing that has kind of tripped us up last time is we weren't ready for those.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got at least...
One-word clues.
I've got
That's
at
the other
least... I've got, at least 2 clues. I might have 3.
Here we go.
Okay.
we go.
I think I got... Okay. I think I got...
3 one-word clues. You got it?
I do. If you do.
Oh, I'm so bad. You know what I need to do? Actually, no, I'm not going to say it out loud.
Okay.
Actually, I will say it out loud.
What's up?
I'm thinking that I need to get a list of questions and just put them in front of me to go off of.
You could, if that helps
Is that
you.
cheating?
I don't think so. Well, I mean, it might. I don't know.
Because I could just get a lot of questions, and then I could ask those questions based off of where I think it's going.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing is I feel like I could get there, but I'm so bad at remembering good things to ask.
Yeah.
So Anyway.
Well, let's start.
Because I feel like for me, it's less of a knowledge of my movie watching because I think all of but one movies that you've done for this, I have watched.
Yeah.
But I haven't guessed any of them.
Yeah, true.
So
I imagine you would have seen this. If not, then I'm sorry. All right. You ready? Whenever you're ready, give a countdown.
3, 2, 1, go. All right. Did this come out in the 2000s?
No.
2010s?
No.
2020s?
No.
90s?
No.
80s?
Yes.
80s movie. So are we talking, is this like a Spielberg movie or something?
No.
Is it of a famous director that I would know?
Not necessarily. No, probably not.
A male lead?
Yes.
Action movie?
No.
Drama?
No.
Comedy?
Yes.
So male lead, is it?
Oh, I didn't even show them, but I can show them afterwards.
Yeah, is it a white male lead?
Yes. And back to the director, he did direct more famous movies in the 80s.
Okay. Let's see. Clue.
What was mine? School.
Okay, give me another one.
Car.
Okay, so it's a comedy. Is it starring? Oh shoot. A comedy. No. Will Ferrell was not in movies in the 80s. I was gonna say, is it starring Will Ferrell?
No.
No, he's not in the 80s movies. Give me another clue.
Last clue.
Yeah. Parade, car. What was the first one?
School.
Shoot, was there music in this movie?
Yes.
Is there a love interest?
Yes.
Is it?
How much time do you have? I don't
30
even
seconds.
Have it. Okay.
Is it? I'm so bad at this.
I was gonna say, if you didn't get it by those clues, then
I maybe don't know this movie.
Yeah, maybe. And some of our.
So is it a racing movie?
No.
So it's got cars though.
Yeah.
Parade.
Our munchies probably
is he in high?
idea.
Is the mean person in high school?
Yes.
Okay, so they are in high school. Okay, time's up now.
Okay. There's the beeps. Okay, close your eyes real quick. I'm gonna show the audience if they can see it right here. And if you've seen that, let me know if those clues were exact giveaways or not. Because if you haven't seen the movie,
if I've not seen this, then it might just be a crapshoot. So, male white lead in high school.
You would have to. You would.
Wait. Can I look something up? No.
No, probably not.
Okay. I'm not gonna look it up. This is just gonna be my best. This is my best guess.
Okay.
Give me a second. I actually think I might have a.
Oh, good.
I gotta make sure I'm spelling it right. I'm not changing my answer. I just want to make sure I'm spelling it right.
All right. Do 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 do.
All right. Let's see.
All right,
Should
show us.
I do it first?
Yeah, you do first.
Is it Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
It is.
Oh,
you
yes!
got it.
Let's go! I did it, everybody! I freaking did it!
First guess.
Oh, yes! I have seen this movie, but
Thanksgiving.
I remember no part of it.
Oh.
I was like, I literally was leaning on him and being in high school, and he's a white guy with a love interest and a comedy.
I was gonna say, if
I
you
don't
didn't
remember
get any of that.
I mean, yeah, cars are. Yeah, they drive around the car.
Well,
and then there's that
they
one
borrow
fancy car.
Yes, they borrow.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've seen that.
Yeah, they borrow Cameron's dad's car, and he was freaking out.
Yes.
And he's like, but what about the mileage? He's like, we can just drive it backwards. So, yeah, no,
Wow.
that's your first correct guess
Oh,
in CineSnacks.
It's a relief. You don't know how the euphoria I feel in this moment.
Yeah,
The fact that
you
when you turned that board around and it said Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
You got it.
Did you get nervous when I said I got to check the spelling? Because I was
a little bit.
Because I was like, I don't know how to spell Bueller.
Yeah,
or
a
how
little
they
bit.
spelled it.
No, but you got it. Hey, congratulations.
What other?
I'm
so
not even
who's-
mad.
I'm definitely not mad.
I'm
feeling
take
great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this director did Breakfast Club.
Yeah,
16
Uncle Buck.
Candles, Pretty in Pink.
Planes, trains, automobiles.
Home Alone. Well, I don't know. Home Alone. It says. I don't know if he directed that. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vacation, Home Alone 2, Home Alone 3.
Yeah, John Hughes.
Christmas Vacation. All right.
So you win. How does it feel?
I win.
Does it feel
Man, of all the movies. Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen that. I don't remember a parade.
Oh, that's like one of the most iconic scenes in the movie.
What happens?
He jumps on a float and sings, what is the song? There's like a huge music ensemble with it. Is it Twist and Shout, maybe? I don't know. You got to rewatch it.
I just remember
It's
the
good.
very beginning of the movie best.
Yeah.
When he's like trying to play hooky from school, and then
That's the
isn't
whole
it
movie.
where he's like,
It's the day off.
Yeah, it's the day off. That's the part I remember the best.
Rewatch it. It's a really
and then
good.
I remember that car, like when they go and they get that fancy car and then
Yeah.
end up crashing it somewhere. I don't remember.
Yeah, you got to watch it. Rewatch it. It's really good. So
It's been a minute.
So my punishment for
Yeah,
myself.
because you got to do it now.
So I think I didn't really think into specific details of how this is going to look, and we may not be able to do it like right now. We may have to cut to it and then add it to the end.
Ooh.
But I brought. Hold on, let me grab it.
I saw what he brought. I knew he brought the football. There it is.
Yeah.
But I didn't know why. He didn't tell me, obviously, because the punishment is a surprise.
So since it's blindside and football is blindside, I figured it could be football related.
Yeah.
And my first thought was the punishment would just be you throw the football at me, and you can do it like 3 times.
Okay.
But we would probably not in this area. We would have to probably do it like somewhere out there and record
All right.
it.
I mean, we can cut and we can record it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's cut.
All right, and cut. Okay, so we're
We're
out
here.
here. We're gonna see if Adam. So we're agreeing about this right now. So 3
3
shots.
throws.
Yeah, 3 throws. If you miss all of them, then you miss all of them.
Yeah.
You can't rethrow.
Yeah.
So if you want to hit me, you have to do it within the 3 throws.
Yep.
Okay.
I agree.
So where am I gonna stand?
Stand at the
And you have to stand on here.
I'll stand right here.
No, just
No,
stand
okay,
up
I'll
there.
stand here.
Yeah, there you go.
But angle your back towards me a little bit. I want them to be able to.
Can they see me?
Can you see him? Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You're kind of small, but.
So I'm actually.
Oh, I thought you maybe your back, but.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll turn around.
Go this way. Oh yeah. All right, here we go.
I'm gonna see if I can.
Here we go.
Oh.
Let's go. Wait, don't move. Don't move. All right, here we go.
One out of 3.
One for one. This is my day. This is my episode.
What if you
people.
hit my left every time?
Oh,
God,
come
my
on.
rib.
I'll get it. I'll get it.
I feel like the next one's gonna be square in my chest. I don't want to jinx it, but I feel like it is.
All right,
You got the left side and the right side.
That one, I hit you, but it was kind of a freebie. All right, here we go.
Okay.
No!
Oh,
Come
yes.
on. You got lucky. Well, maybe I'll get him next time. All right. Well,
It's never in any moment of life good to get hit by a football.
I'm sure it
But
felt great.
It's yeah. Well,
I'm
I'll
glad it
definitely
didn't-
feel more tomorrow.
I'm glad it didn't happen to me.
Yeah.
I'll say that much.
Hey, your
because
first win.
It
Congratulations.
looked like it was going to happen to me, but I pulled through, got the touchdown, and won the game.
Hey, you
Hey.
know football terms.
I know football. I did a touchdown,
Yeah.
and then slam dunked it.
Hey,
So-
well, you're close.
As we wrap up this inspiring episode of CineBites, we hope you've enjoyed our heartwarming journey through The Blind Side and its culinary connections. Just as this film showcases the power of love and determination, we've discovered the unique way that food can bring people together, nourishing both body and soul. Thank you for joining us today. Stay tuned for more cinematic flavors in upcoming episodes. Make sure to follow us on YouTube and Instagram, and hear our podcast weekly on all major podcast platforms. Until next time, bon appetit and happy viewing.
Hut, hut, hut,
Set hut.
touchdown.
Woo!